Hey, we're back, and I've got the controller fixed. I would hope so anyway. Yeah, I've got the controller fixed, so I really need to get like a clock sitting up next to my computer at some point, or like a stopwatch to start at the beginning when I start the video, so that I know when I've reached 10 minutes, because with this game it's going to be very difficult to keep track of that crap. Yeah. Since I can't just break it up by stage, because there's no stages in this game, it's an open world exploration type game. You can fall forever. Alright, thing there. Ta-da! This may look familiar. Hey, this is where I owned Mother Brain in the first game. They didn't destroy this place? I thought for sure it was going to blow up and I had to evacuate and... details. Hey, an elevator right outside Mother Brain's old room. That would have been handy to know about. I wonder where it leads. Hey, wait a minute. Just a damn minute. Okay, I rewound too far. I didn't mean to go back up the lift. I was trying to be comical. You mean I could have just... anyway. Your attempts at comedy have failed, fat man. Try harder. I get the morphing ball, which in original Metroid, if you recall, was called the Maru Mari. And Maru is just Japanese for round. So I'm guessing it was just a play on words, but basically meant the thing that sort of makes you roll up into a ball shape, which is of course what it was. So now we go over here, and we find missiles. Now, I didn't have missiles until this point. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm hardened for many battles. You'd think I would bring some missiles to a frickin' planet that's full of pirates. I mean, I'm chasing down the last remaining Metroid in the galaxy that we know of. And, quite frankly, you would just think I would want that sort of thing. Missiles. Seriously. But, you know, I guess we're ill-prepared sometimes. At least they left a bunch of missiles laying around for us. That's good. Boy, I really wish I used to have the setup I had back in the old MS-DOS days. The thing I had basically was the old DOS ZSNES emulator. Yeah, I've been using it the whole time. It allowed you to select a controller that was plugged in through the serial port, and it understood the SNES pad. You just had to make the wiring inside the SNES's controller wire match up to certain pins on a serial port, and bam, you were good. So I was like, well, can it recognize multiple controllers plugged into the serial port? And I took an SNES multitap and I wired it up according to some diagrams I found on yay old internets. That's what they used to call it back then, in the olden days. And sure enough, I was able to have 4 SNES controllers wired up to a single, I'd say serial port, but I mean parallel. It was the parallel port, like where you plug your printer in. They still use that frickin' thing nowadays. I thought they would have all moved on to USB by now, but whatever. Yeah. Everything was plugged in through parallel. I was using actual SNES controllers on SNES emulator. It was fantastic. Now, I'm using a Street Fighter 4 fight pad, and it's just not as good as a real, honest-to-God Super Nintendo controller. Because this thing is for the Xbox 360, and it's a 6-button setup, and the D-pad is sort of round-ish to make it easier to do Street Fighter moves. And it doesn't lend itself terribly well to playing games like this, but I mean, it's okay. I've been doing my Yoshi's Island Let's Plays with it, and it works out well enough. I probably should just start using the PS3 controller again, but the 360 controller works just by plugging it into the computer, and the computer detects it, because Windows, Xbox, they're both Microsoft products, and they love each other, I guess. Here's our map. Alrighty. But the PS3 controller, it detects it, but then it's like, there's no real signed drivers for this. And I have drivers for it, but they're not signed, and so Windows complains and won't run it. So you have to, every time I want to use the PS3 controller, I have to reboot the computer and hit F8 and tell it to allow me to use unsigned drivers. Anytime I want to use it, I have to do that. And I need bombs to do that. Yep. I suppose a lot of you are wondering what I'm going for with this playthrough. Is it going to be 100% completion? Is it going to be... that's a save point to the left, who cares? I'm playing on an emulator, I can save state. Yeah, but is it going to be 100% completion? Is it going to be based on getting to see Samus more naked, which means bikini time, basically? Well, I'll tell you, it's just going to be based on whatever I feel comfortable with. I'm going to try and go through as minimalistic as possible, yes. So that would be a speed run, so to speak. But it's not going to be a crazy, you're going to be in awe at my skills sort of speed run. It's just going to be as fast as I can play through comfortably without, you know, causing myself to have a heart attack. This guy's going to come to life and attack me, and I have to be at about 10 minutes by now. So I'm going to stop it after this fight. There's not a good way to avoid it when he comes up against the wall like that, but you can shoot those balls that he throws. That's right, I turned on Moonwalk. It's awesome. Alright. At least for the beginning of the game, you can moonwalk, and Samus will just be like, ha! You hold down the button, and she'll keep firing. It's rapid-fire-tastic. I'm gonna stop right here. We'll see how spot on I am with the timing, 10 minutes, and I'll try and get a stopwatch or something for the next time. So, until then, see you later.